She crossed deserts with a caravan heavy with gold, spices, and questions. She wasn't just visiting for trade. She was coming to test the wisest man who ever lived. Some say she was in awe of Solomon's wisdom. Others say she was captivated by his charm. But what if she had a hidden agenda? What if the Queen of Sheba wasn't just a royal guest, but a spy from a powerful empire? Or even more shocking, what if she became more than just Solomon's guest? What if she became his lover? A queen, a king, and 1,000 secrets. Tonight, we unlock a story of seduction, suspicion, and splendor. This was the Queen of Sheba Solomon's lover or spy? Before we dive into the intrigue, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it if you find it fascinating, because that's the only way you can support our work and help it reach others too. And drop a comment below saying the Queen of Sheba to let us know you're watching. Now, let's uncover the truth. Sheba was not just a mythical kingdom. It was a land of immense wealth, intellect, and mystery. Most scholars place it in modern-day Ethiopia or Yemen, part of the ancient Sabaean civilization that thrived on incense trade routes. This was no ordinary realm, and its queen was no ordinary woman. According to 1 Kings chapter 10 and 2 Chronicles chapter 9, the Queen of Sheba had heard of Solomon's fame, his wisdom, and his God. But she didn't just want to hear about him from afar. She wanted to see it for herself. But why would a queen, already powerful and sovereign in her own right, make such a long, dangerous journey across burning sands and wild terrain just to meet another ruler? What was so urgent that it required her personal presence? The Bible tells us she came to test him with hard questions. That alone sounds more like an interrogation than a diplomatic courtesy call. Could it be that she came not just with questions, but with suspicion? You see, in the ancient world, alliances were often forged not only through treaties, but through secrets and seduction. Queens and kings didn't just trade goods, they traded influence. And Solomon wasn't just a king. He was the most powerful monarch of his time. His wisdom was legendary, his palace unimaginable, his influence global. He controlled trade routes, diplomacy, and knowledge networks. If you were a ruler trying to secure your own kingdom, wouldn't you want to know what kind of man Solomon truly was? Wouldn't you want to find out firsthand before he grew too powerful? And so she came not with an army, but with riddles. Not with spies in the shadows, but as a dazzling queen whose questions were sharper than any blade. The Hebrew phrase used to describe her questioning, "lenasot oto," means to test him, often used in the Bible for serious, even divine tests of character. This was no friendly debate. This was an assessment. Some believe she was gathering intelligence. Others say she was vetting a possible alliance. And some ancient traditions suggest she had dreams far bigger than trade. In Ethiopian lore, recorded in the Kebra Nagast, her real name was Makeda. And her visit to Solomon was not just political, it was prophetic. She came to test Solomon, but did she leave changed? Or did she change everything? When the Queen of Sheba entered Solomon's court, she was likely struck by what she saw. The Bible describes his palace as a place of gold, ivory, cedar, and opulence beyond compare. His throne alone was like nothing the world had ever seen. 6 steps, lions on both sides, and a seat covered in fine gold. But Solomon's real power wasn't in his gold, it was in his mind. His wisdom could untangle riddles, judge disputes, and unlock the secrets of the universe. And the Queen of Sheba came ready, with hard questions to test him. What were these questions? The Bible doesn't record them in detail, but Jewish midrash and Ethiopian tradition fill in the blanks. Some say she asked riddles so complex they bordered on the mystical. Questions like, how can a woman declare herself pure but still be unclean? What is the origin of the soul? What has 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night? Some scholars believe these weren't just riddles. They were theological, philosophical, and scientific tests. She was probing the limits of his knowledge, and Solomon passed them all. But something else happened in those halls. The 2 monarchs, brilliant, ambitious, charismatic, began to see more than political opportunity. There was a spark. Ancient stories from the Kibra Nagast go even further. According to Ethiopian tradition, Solomon was so enchanted by Makeda that he invited her to stay in the palace longer. They dined together, spoke late into the night, exchanged views not only on politics, but faith, morality, and destiny. The story takes a turn. One night, Solomon makes her swear she will not take anything from his palace. She agrees, but in the middle of the night, thirsty, she drinks water, technically taking something. This, Solomon claims, breaks her vow, and by tradition, he claims her. The 2 spend the night together. Was it seduction? Was it a diplomatic union? Or was it a calculated move on either side, using intimacy to form an unbreakable alliance? When the queen left Jerusalem, she may not have left alone. Ethiopian tradition holds that she bore Solomon a son, Menelik I. And through him, a dynasty was born, said to stretch from Solomon all the way to Haile Selassie, the last emperor of Ethiopia. If true, it means the Queen of Sheba didn't just visit. She merged bloodlines. She joined empires. She rewrote history. Let's step back. What do we really know, and what are we left to wonder? On one hand, the Queen of Sheba could be seen as a political operative, a savvy strategic leader who went to Jerusalem to assess a rising superpower. Her hard questions were tools of analysis, her wealth a show of strength, and her charm a means to a deeper purpose. Could she have been a spy? If by spy we mean an agent gathering vital information for her kingdom's survival, then yes. But not in secret. She did it boldly, publicly, as a queen on a mission. On the other hand, we see echoes of romance, deep respect, fascination, perhaps even passion. Solomon wasn't just impressed, he gave her everything she asked for, and then even more. But what if she was more than a spy and more than a lover? What if she was a prophetic figure? Someone whose presence bridged 2 worlds, Africa and Israel, royalty and prophecy, wisdom and revelation. Jesus himself spoke of her. In Matthew chapter 12, verse 42, he said, "The Queen of the South shall rise up in judgment, for she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon." And Jesus added, "Behold, one greater than Solomon is here." Her journey, then, was not just historical, it was symbolic. She represents the seeker, the outsider who hungers for truth, the powerful who humbles themselves before the divine. And maybe that's the real story. Whether she was spy or lover, she was, above all, a woman who pursued wisdom. And in doing so, she changed the course of history, left a legacy that echoed through kingdoms, and walked away from Jerusalem, not empty-handed, but carrying the seed of a royal destiny. So, was the Queen of Sheba Solomon's lover or spy? Maybe she was both. Maybe she was neither. But one thing's for sure, she was unforgettable. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through the sands of time and the scrolls of history. The Queen of Sheba's story is more than a tale of romance or espionage. It's a symbol of wisdom, power, and the pursuit of truth. Whether she was a lover, a spy, or something far greater, one thing is certain: her legacy lives on. If you enjoyed this exploration, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who love Bible stories, mysteries, and history. And we want to hear from you. What part of the Queen of Sheba's story fascinated you the most? Was it her riddles, her romance with Solomon, or her prophetic role in Scripture? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep reflecting.